making the girls breakfast before we go to work, going down to the old office where we started business back in 2009. All right. Charlotte! They're too shy. They're good.
We're touring the office. Is that right? Yeah, the old one. I'm excited. It's been a long time. It's kind of surreal. I remember the day we toured the place. It was amazing.
What's up?
Yeah. Ready to go see it?
Let's do it. Didn't we go underneath there sometimes?
When it was raining.
Yeah, yeah.
We'd run to this part.
That's right. You wait for the light. You time the light, right?
Yeah. And I remember telling Paul, like, yeah, we'll take this whole floor, and he laughed at us.
Yeah.
And I still remember.
It was 600 square feet. Remember the deposit was like, was it
$6,000?
$6,000. Yeah.
It was double rent.
Yeah, double rent. Yeah.
How are we gonna get $6,000?
It was definitely an interesting time to start a business.
It was the worst time to start a business.
Went and met with some customers after we decided to start it, and they all thought we were freaking nuts.
Yeah, one said to us, looked at us and said, "What are you doing? Go back, get your job back. This isn't gonna work. This is a terrible time."
I think our goal was what, 5 loads a day?
Yeah, 5 loads a day.
If we could get 5 loads a day, we'd be making it. So
we were so focused, you never knew the economy was bad. Like we just didn't even pay attention to it, to be honest.
People were still shipping, right?
People were still shipping, so it was fun to grow. And this is it.
This is where it all started.
This is the place.
Yeah. It's not the old logo.
It is surreal to walk into. To think back when we started this thing, like the focus, the dedication. I mean, to grow in that time period, in the area we grew it's
nuts.
It's absolutely, it's a testament to the people. We didn't have any technology. We didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah, it's pure want.
We did the little things right.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see. We're sleeping in here.
God.
That's it.
That's it.
Brad, I know you see you.
Hey!
Gentlemen, how are you? Good to see you.
Brad, Theo.
Gentlemen, hey guys,
Can we join?
doing?
Absolutely.
Come on in. Seat
You don't
taken?
mind.
It's yours.
How we doing? Where do we begin?
Gosh. I think what I really enjoyed is starting out, it's like one of 13 in the office, and there were a lot of times where you'd get to, especially on a holiday week, it'd be 4 or 5 p.m. and you've got one pod, and I can think back to Dan in particular shipping beer and trying to pull trucks out of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. It's like, all right, you can't leave Dan here hanging. I'm gonna hop in, I'm gonna make calls, and I'll try and cover a couple loads just so Dan's not stuck here until the rest of the night, or because at that time we didn't have a brand of to kind of stand on. We were Spot. No one knew who Spot was, and we didn't want Dan to fail, because if Dan failed, we all failed. And if a large brewer says negative things about us, that jeopardizes our future.
And you never know where this person's going to go next.
Exactly.
Everybody in this industry knows everybody.
We do the little things right, but it's the little things to a customer that set you apart. And I know that sounds corny and cheesy, but it's absolutely true. My customers tell me that all the time.
I would agree, and it's like doing the little things right. It could sound like this big complex thing, but it's like the little simple things that you're doing right.
Yeah.
It's simple communication with email and phone. It's responding promptly, responding timely, giving them good updates, giving them bad updates, but just giving them the honest truth, right? Like sometimes there was something like obviously really bad that happened, a truck is gonna be late, breakdown, whatever. Just coming up with the plan and not being afraid to tackle the problems head on was, part of the little things that I think we did, and Brett and I set ourselves apart, so.
Never did I really visualize that we would have an entire floor of a building just for our technology end of the business.
With Red Tech and what we have, like, these guys are working nonstop. If there's a problem, they fix it. All hands on deck, kind of like the brokerage side. Like, if all the loads aren't covered, we work together, we get it done. I think that same mentality is for them. And so for them being able to have this software, for us to have this software in-house, we're responsible for our own success.
It really is amazing how far just technology itself has changed since we started to where it is now. That was considered like great communication back then. Was you sent an email that your truck arrived.
We used to fax rate confirmations.
Yeah.
Like, that was just 10 years ago that you did that.
So we had a great 7 years at 445 from 2009 to 2016, and you know, I think it was just that time that we were outgrowing that space. There was just so many of us, and it was time to take Spot to the next level.
What do you guys think, pro, con, about having a bowling alley in an office space?
I think it's depending on when you can, when you're allowed to play.
Yeah.
Work hours, normal work hours, I think that be kind of frustrating.
Tanisha might be a bowler. Good game, guys. One of the coolest things that I remember when we walked over to this building in 2016, shortly after we moved in, was the sign going up outside.
You get friends and family during the holidays saying, "Oh, did you work at Spot?" Like, yeah. Oh, I was down there. I saw that huge sign. Like, yep, that's where we are at.
We talk about, you know, being carrier driven, and like that's one of the coolest things to see is to watch that relationship evolve over the years. But at the end of the day, still having a good kind of business relationship with a lot of these carriers that we work with in the old building and brought into the new building.
Yeah, especially when the carriers are able to grow their business because we've grown ours too. That's really neat to see.
Going above and beyond for carriers, there's one story that I think is a good embodiment of that, and it involves a shipper that was way behind and some pizzas.
It may have been the receiver. I think the receiver.
Yeah, the receiver.
They were behind unloading for days. There were people that were sitting over for 5 to 7 days waiting to get trailers unloaded. And my husband and I actually took pizzas down to the receiver and handed them out in the truck lot to the drivers that were waiting, laying over, waiting to get empty.
Yeah.
They were really appreciative.
Still definitely some spirited conversations that had to be had after the fact, based on how long it.
How much am I getting paid?
Yeah, thanks for the pizza.
Thanks for the pizza, but.
Yeah, I think the relationship piece of it's big, right? Like, that's why we've gotten as big as we are. We truly wanted to help people, and as they let us help them, we got bigger. But I don't feel like we've ever lost the idea that we want to help them. I guarantee we've all gotten those phone calls on the weekends from a customer. They want help. If they're calling me for help, they need it, so I want to help them.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big piece of why we've grown the way we have.
And now we've got all these other office locations, and then to really put our name out there and open up an office in Chicago, which is our most recent one. It's been really cool to see.
Let's see here. Looks like I got a meeting with Craig and Jeremiah coming up, go over operational stuff. So yeah, now that we're in the space, obviously looking to really grow from here, and you know, Jeremiah, your opinion, kind of going through this once before with the Charlotte office years ago, if you can remember that long.
Yeah, when I took my talents to North Carolina.
What pointers, or what can you say as far as what led to the success of the Charlotte office?
So nothing is given to you, you know, so you got a reputation to uphold. You want to be amongst the satellite offices, in my opinion, you know, seen as that #1 office, right? Be able to do that, though, is to know that you got to be able to relate to your people, so be invested in your employees, right? That's very important. You got to be able to communicate with each other and grow out the atmosphere that way, develop that culture. dig deep, right? Fight for every shipment, like service every customer as best to your ability as possible. Outwork the competition. That's all I can say, man.
I appreciate the words, and obviously it's been great to have so many role models with Inside Spot, you know, even from the early days of me and you being the 1 and 2 longest tenured employees here. It seems like yesterday, but it also seems like a lifetime ago at times, but you know, I wouldn't trade it for the world, and I'm happy to have the friends that I've had along the way.
This is it's a message about the 15 years, how we've grown, the direction we grew, our focus, and summarizing it in a few paragraphs. So we'll be kind of talking through this, the growth of the past 15 years, the journey on a town hall, and excited to talk to the team in one group together. So a lot of exciting things coming. As a new year gets underway, it's hard not to look back and reflect on the last 15 years as an organization. From card tables for desks to concrete floors for periodic sleeping arrangements, we've come a long way. With over 600 teammates spread across 5 geographic areas around the country, and with our own proprietary, customer-inspired technology, Andy and I couldn't be prouder of how Spot has evolved. And while many transformations have taken place, there's been one constant. We've always done things the right way and with the right people at our side. Here's to another incredible 15 years of memories and success.